Week we've already delivered you an FA Cup shock in front of the BT Sport cameras. Well, tonight, can Maidstone do what Aldershot managed just 24 hours ago and knock league opposition out of the FA Cup? Tonight the action unfolds here at what you have to say is the small but perfectly formed Gallagher Stadium, where Ryman Premier Maidstone will take on League 2 Stevenage in an FA Cup first round replay, having drawn 0-0 in their first meeting. And tonight isn't just about a potential cup upset. We're also witnessing history being made, because this pitch is 100% artificial. It's known as 3G, and this is the first ever FA Cup game proper to be played on a 3G pitch, and it has its detractors, but you can also see the benefits. A pitch like this needs minimal maintenance. You can play on it when it's wet, it doesn't freeze, and you can play 365 days a year with no problems for the pitch. But tonight there is also the genuine chance of a cup upset. 60 places between these two sides, but this man, Jay Saunders, has led his Maidstone side to just one defeat in the last 13 matches, so give us an idea of the confidence inside that home dressing room right now.
Yeah, we couldn't go into it on any better form, to be honest. We're having a good season, enjoying playing at home, obviously. As you said, the record's good here, so yeah, we're all up for the game and looking forward to it.
And what about the lads generally? Because obviously a lot of them have been at work today, haven't they? So it's not normal for your guys to be at work all day, then play a game in front of the TV cameras.
No, but that's the beauty of the FA Cup, isn't it? That's what we, as non-league footballers, I think we start at the beginning of the season hoping to get that chance to be on TV and play against full-time pros, and that's what the lads have got, and they've earned it. It's took us 4 games to get here, but they've earned this night tonight, and hopefully we can make it an enjoyable one.
Good man. Your form, particularly at home, is the good news. The bad news, though, your talisman, your captain, he's out tonight. How much of a blow is that? Yeah,
Steve would be a big loss to us. Obviously, he's played at the top level in football, so he's got that experience. He's our captain. And it was a training ground incident, so it's going to lose him. But it's one of them. We've got a squad. It gives opportunities to other lads, and that's what we've got to look at.
Good man. So Steve Watt is out, but tonight's a big night for your club. First time Maidstone have ever played in front of the TV cameras, and thanks for the tweets today. You're obviously excited about this one.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. But as I say, hopefully it'll be a good evening.
Yeah. And your final words to those boys in there?
Enjoy it. Enjoy the night.
Wonderful. Let's hope that you do. Let's hope, though, that this man also enjoys himself, because we're up for a good game here this evening. Let's now hear from this man's opposite number. Graham Wesley is with Derek Ray.
Stevenage know how to knock out bigger names in the FA Cup. They've done it under your guidance. Bit of a role reversal tonight.
Well, we've seen in the first round, I think it's 11 league clubs have gone through against non-league opponents, 6 have gone out. So, you know, we know what can happen if you don't get it right. The gap, I always used to say, as a non-league manager, isn't as big as people want you to believe, and we know the type of job that we've got to do, but we're confident we've got the quality in our camp to do the job that's on offer.
It'll be the first match in the FA Cup proper staged on a 3G surface. You've been vocal about your views in terms of the surface. Do the players need to do anything different?
Listen, we had a game on grass against these 10 days ago, or whatever it was. We didn't manage to beat them. So we're glad there's a different surface, because the surface at our place proved to be a leveller. So tonight we've got the opportunity of a very flat wicket. It's not, with respect to Warrington, it's not the Warrington pitch that Exeter had to go and face. And, you know, we're glad to have the time. My vocal views have very much been about 3G in the Football League as a permanent surface. I was as a kid, as a young player, I played at QPR on the surface there, and I know what it did to my body, and I know what happens to the lads when they train on 3G nowadays. So too much 3G I don't think is a good thing, but you know, it is as it is. Tonight the surface is there, it's a good surface, we're looking forward to playing on it.
Best of luck.
Cheers.
Well, do you know what? In a moment we'll be down on our haunches taking a close-up look at the 3G pitch, but there are managers everywhere. We've heard from 2, let's hear from another 2, because alongside me we've got Kevin Wilkin, who's the current boss of Wrexham, who will play the winners in the next round of the FA Cup, and a familiar face to many of you, Peter Taylor, who everyone will say, oh, he's the perfect guest, because of course he managed Stevenage. People may forget you played for Maidstone.
Absolutely, yeah. 2 years here, end of my professional career. Good fun, good football club, and I'm sure you'll see some passionate supporters tonight.
Good man. So what's the aim for you this evening? A brilliant punditry role on BT Sport, or a sneaky scouting mission for Wrexham?
Scouting mission takes priority, definitely, yeah. I've got to see what they're all about. I haven't had a chance to see, obviously, Maidstone. Know a little bit about Stevenage, but yeah, it'll be an interesting game tonight.
What do you look for on a night like this? Is it formations? Is it individual players? Is it the tempo of the team that you might face in the second round?
I think it's a bit of all sorts, really. You know, you try to take as much as you can away from the game. You know, making sure you look at any set plays, any individuals that may take the eye. So, you know, I'll be keeping a good eye on it tonight for sure.
So Wrexham play the winners. Of course, if that's a draw, you'll end up playing back here, perhaps, if Maidstone win tonight. So I think we should get down and not stand on ceremony. Let's take a look at this. Now, if you're a five-a-side footballer at home, you'll play on this sort of thing all the time. This is a 3G pitch, and underneath there is just masses of this rubber. Now, chatting to the groundsman earlier, he was saying for every 10 hours of playing time, it's 1 hour's worth of maintenance. They've got 30 community teams that play here. They can play on it when it's freezing. They played in -7 last year. You can understand the benefits, Peter, for a club of this size.
Absolutely, I think clubs, even League One, League Two, would benefit from this.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that it's just really improved over the years. At QPR years ago, it was rock hard. It was like a playground. They're not like playgrounds anymore. There's more cushion.
And look, we heard from Graham Wesley there. He said that, he played on pitches like this and it was no good for him back in the day. And I know you both did the same thing in the 80s. The message is, though, they use these pitches in the Champions League. They use them up in Scotland all the time. Technology's moved on. Perhaps we're living in the dark ages a bit.
Possibly so. I'm not a great lover of them. I prefer to be traditional. I prefer to play on grass. But as Peter said, you can understand why these are featuring more and more within the modern game. And I'm sure they'll continue to grow and grow. It's one of those things we have to adapt and deal with, and we have to get on with it.
Currently not allowed in the Football League. We'll see whether that changes in the near future. Right, we've heard from Jay Saunders. He said his message to his players tonight was enjoy it. We can see inside the dressing room now he'll be delivering his final team talk. What do you say to your players to try and bridge a gap of 60 league places, Peter?
Well, I definitely say enjoy it, but I certainly say don't have any regrets. Go there, give Stevenage as much respect as they deserve, but still really believe that you can cause an upset. And I'm sure that's what Jay would be saying to the players, and I'm sure the players will believe that.
Mason's home form has been incredible. Plenty of people say that's because of the 3G pitch and they're well used to it, but it's also because they have got a few little gems in their team. Who should we look out for?
Well, I like Fisher. He's a player that can play centre forward. He can play as a wide left player. He's very strong, good at running at people. He's got a great long throw. I think he could cause Stevenage a few problems. And I've seen the Maidstone play, and they've got some good players. They've got some big players. They could cause an upset.
Okay, let's focus on Stevenage as well then. Graham Wesley is a manager who, at this level, knows what it takes to deliver success, right?
Yeah, he's been there and he's seen it and done it, hasn't he? He's meticulous with his organisation and his preparation. There'll be one or two set plays I'm sure that he'll throw into the mix tonight. As I say, they'll be fit, they'll be strong, they'll be organised. They'll be a tough nut to crack, but you look at the crowd and the atmosphere here tonight, it could happen.
It's cracking. And if you're a betting man, wouldn't be a bad thing to throw a few quid on Maidstone tonight. There is a chance for them this evening.
Absolutely. That also, they played Stevenage 2 weeks ago or whatever and could have won the match. So I'm sure that they will play with no fear.
All right, the players are back in the dressing rooms. The fans are certainly ready for this one. Kick-off happens next. Live FA Cup action here on BT Sports.
The FA Cup on BT Sport, brought to you by William Hill.
What are your specials?
What are you after?
Oh.
We got burgers, cheeseburgers, pies, fries, and odds.
Odds?
Yeah, we got first to score, half-time score, score draw, 5-4, and a tasty offer to be sure.
What's the catch?
Haddock.
Download the Coral app and check out our in-play specials.
But please bet responsibly.
Hello, I'm Tony Laithwaite, and for 40 years I've been travelling the little vineyards of the world, always looking for the perfect wine, and I think I may be getting close. And if you'd like to try 12 of my most exciting wines, they're all in my new Laithwaite's Discovery Dozen.
The extraordinary wines in this Discovery Dozen normally sell for up to $10.99 a bottle. Today, as an introduction, they're half price at just over £4 a bottle. That's only £52.68 for the entire case. And what a selection! There's Black Stump Durif Shiraz, our best-selling wine ever. And the delicious award-winning Rioja is proving just as popular. Mixed or all-white Discovery dozens are also available. Cases are limited as many wines come from tiny vineyards. So order yours today by calling 0330 148 169.
The taste and quality is second to none.
The exclusive Discovery dozen is today just £52.68. That's half price. Plus you'll get 2 free Dartington crystal glasses worth £20. We'll also give you what no one else does. The story behind each wine with our comprehensive tasting notes, so you can get to know the winemakers and discover what drives their passion for winemaking perfection.
I've always found Laithwaite's wine to be good quality and good value. Especially when compared with supermarkets.
Call now on 0330 148 169 to order your first Discovery dozen. Continue your journey of discovery with exciting new wine selections delivered conveniently to your door every 12 weeks. And because you're always in control, you simply enjoy the wines you want as often as you want.
Staff are very, very knowledgeable and just so lovely.
We're so confident you'll love Tony's selection that every bottle comes with Laithwaite's 100% money-back guarantee.
Join me on my wine journey today. It'll be fun, I promise.
Order your exclusive half-price Discovery dozen plus your free Dartington glasses and tasting notes, all for just £52.68. Call us now on 0330 148 169 or order online at laithwaites.tv.
The FA Cup on BT Sport, brought to you by William Hill.
The players are in the tunnel. There's a sense of expectation in the air. Over 2,000 fans packed into the Gallagher Stadium. The club say they could have sold another 5,000 tickets for this one. It's Ryman Premier Maidstone looking to bridge 60 league places and shock their visitors from League 2 Stevenage. It's an FA Cup first round replay with Adam Virgo alongside Derek Ray. I hope you got your thermals on, lads.
Always, Jake. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. A chill in the November air indeed. A packed non-league ground and a buzzing atmosphere. A true feeling of grandeur as well. The 3-6 Engineer Regiment and the Queen's Gurkha Engineers providing the guard of honour. They're based at the Invicta Barracks, not far from here. And this absolutely screams FA Cup first round. They are just a long goal kick away from the Kent History Centre, and history made tonight, given the 3G factor. All packed like sardines inside the Gallagher Stadium. There they are, the men in amber and black. Maidstone United. Stevenage, the big favourites. They know they have a job to do. They made heavy weather of it in the first match. The handshakes before the action gets underway. Let's have a look at the two teams. Maidstone would certainly have named the same side that drew 0-0 at Stevenage, but captain Steve Watt has been ruled out with a thigh injury. So 17-year-old student Aaron Simpson gets the start, with player coach Jamie Coyle shifting over to centre-back. Franny Collin, a plasterer by trade, is hoping the Stevenage defence comes unstuck. He's Maidstone's top scorer with 14. Stevenage thrashed Chatham Town 5-1 on Saturday. They make one enforced change. Chris Beardsley scored twice at the weekend but is injured tonight. On the plus side though, there is a return for Chris Weltdale, the club's top goal scorer, and he knows this part of the country well following his 4 years at Gillingham. Adam, good evening to you. Let's talk tactics.
Well, I say what a night it is for Maidstone, and they would set up in their traditional 4-4-2, and they can take great confidence from the 0-0 draw in the earlier rounds. They also have good strength in key areas, and they can play the long ball if they have to. Alex Fisher right on the left. I say he's got good movement, comes in off the line, and also possesses a good long throw. And of course that man Franny Collin, 14 goals, and they'll be strong with set plays. For Stevenage, they usually set up a 4-5-1. They've gone 4-4-1-1, and I think Wetdell will be the extra man in midfield due to their poor away records, and they'll try and compact the midfield and frustrate Maidstone.
Yeah, please. Heads called. Tails it is. Which one? Stage one?
You heard it. Tails it is. Simon Hooper, the referee from Wiltshire, with a good-natured banter before the action gets underway. Jamie Coyle Wearing the armband for Maidstone United. They are depending heavily on Alex Fleischer. He's only 22. He's a product of the youth scheme here. And his progress is being monitored by quite a few Football League clubs. Show of solidarity from Maidstone United. And Lee Barnard, we expect will be up front. We do wonder though if his loan is going to continue. Due up at the end of the month, talk in the Stevenage newspaper this morning about Southend boss Phil Brown wanting to recall him. We shall see. Good look there at the 3G pitch. And away they go. Decision day not far from here in the Rochester and Stroud by-election. Decision night in the FA Cup. It will be played to a finish, come what may. Maidstone United against Stevenage for the right to meet Wrexham in round 2.
I'll say there at the pitch is going to play a massive factor on how Stevenage do settle into this game. You can always see already the zip off the surface. Say Maidstone already just playing it in the channels, getting the front two, Colin and May into the game. It's going to be a frantic start.
Parkinson trying to take the bull by the horns. 25-year-old midfield player. He doubles as head of Maidstone United's football academy. Quite a few in the ranks of Maidstone are coaches. Jay May tried to shield it. Parkinson comes into the move again. Spinning off the experienced Simon Walton. And Coyle had to be quick. Handed forward by Lee Worgan. And the Maidstone goal, and they might be onto something. All the effort there. And there might be another one. This time it's a goal. How about that? Franny Collin. That's what he does. A little bit more than 1 minute on the clock. Joy unconfined for Maidstone United.
You can't ask for a better start for Jay Saunders' team, and it's just basic route one. A long ball down the middle, and you have to go with your runners, you have to go with your markers, and he's certainly onside there. Could Chris Day do better with this one? I think he can. And also what you've got to do as a centre forward, you've got to follow in every single time, and he does that. Maybe the surface may have caught Chris Day by surprise. Take nothing away from the finish. What a start we got to the game here, Derek.
Just what the Maidstone supporters wanted, precisely what Stevenage wanted to avoid. Franny Collin, playing for his 4th Kent club. Maidstone 1, Stevenage 0. It's Jay May who fired in the initial effort. As you said, Adam, questions perhaps to be asked about Chris Day, the evergreen Chris Day, in goal for Stevenage.
So when we talk about experience, Chris Day certainly got that. I think he just knows in the back of his mind he could have easily saved that, but he parries it to the wrong man.
The 7th season with Stevenage. Signed in 2008 from Millwall. It was an up-tempo start to the game as Stevenage tried to respond. To get Rory Deacon into advanced positions. Rory cuts in from the left. An early explosion here at the Gallagher Stadium. The town enders there, the traditional Maidstone United end. Turnstile end, the town end, as they like to call it. This ground packed and passionate. Chris Whelpdale is holding it up. Ronnie Henry by his side. His granddad also has a bit of FA Cup pedigree, more than a bit actually. Ronnie Henry's won it twice with Spurs in the early 60s. Darius Charles letting it run back to Chris Day. The direct approach. And we would like to apologise just in case our microphones picked up bad language a second or two ago. Jay Saunders, the man at the Maidstone United helm. He is full-time with the club. He works at the academy. A couple couple of spells as a player here, and he is a Maidstone boy.
So you and I chatted to him before the game. I think he was quietly confident that his team could get a result tonight. But what a start.
They couldn't have asked for a better beginning, could they? Dale tries to flight that one in. There was a bit of foul play spotted by Simon Hooper.
I'll say the two centre-halves tonight for Maidstone will need to be doing a lot of this. They can go direct, Stevenage.
Graham Westley, the architect of so many Stevenage triumphs in the FA Cup against high-rated opposition. Well, the shoe will be on the other foot this evening. Long way to go. Simon Walton. Walton once more. Towards Charlie Lee. There's young Aaron Simpson. Such a big night for the youngster. He's joined during the summer from Whitstable Town. And Steve Watt normally plays in central defence. One was made by Colin. Flag going up.
Just seems a little bit of a problem at the moment for Stevenage. And it's Ronnie Henry at right back, and he is onside. They've got to be careful. Even with the first goal, there was a massive gap between the two centre-halves.
Well, the official time of the goal, 1 minute and 8 seconds. Franny Collin found a desirable angle. Scored 4 goals in the qualifying phase of the FA Cup. Into the competition proper. Bodkin, one of the best passers in this Maidstone United team. Playing in a slightly deeper position. Jay May with a header on. Oh, it could have been problematic. Alex Fletcher was in there trying to cause havoc.
Well, I think what they might need to do is bring Simon Walton and just sit in front of Jay May, because he's winning every single flick on at the moment.
Advantage there accruing to Stevenage. It was Simpson with the intervention for Maidstone. Let's see what the referee wants to do about this. No complaints from Stevenage.
So he's just caught him. I say, in fairness to Aaron Simpson, he's only got his eye on the ball. I don't think he sees Deacon coming in. It does catch him.
Quite the lengthy talking to. But Aaron Simpson, the nerves must be jangling as far as the 17-year-old is concerned. Well, that's all, just a verbal rebuke. So plenty of Deacon in the closing stages of the first match when Simpson came on as a substitute. Similar story for Deacon.
So it looks like he's clutching his rib cage. I think the original contact was around the knee area, so maybe landing on this surface. Catches him awkwardly.
Well, no booking, and he's been very fortunate, Adam.
I'd say I like referee Simon Hooper. I think he's a good referee. He's refereed a couple of my games over the years, and the way the game is set up, you know there's going to be a few missed-time challenges early on. You just need to talk to players, and players will respect that.
Rory Deacon, former Sunderland and Arsenal youth team player. Driven all the way forward. Uncontested. And Deacon is back on the pitch. They've just joined us on BT Sport. It's It's the FA Cup first round replay here on the Garden of England, the county of Kent. Maidstone United from the Ryman Premier League against Stevenage, League 2. Graham Wesley's side chasing this game. Tom Mills, another of the young players to have come through here at Maidstone. The academy, by the way, just a year older than the ground itself. Started in 2011, the Maidstone United Youth Academy. Put it forward by Mills. That one for Dean Wells to deal with. 29-year-old Londoner, began his career with Brentford. Whistle's gone.
So at the moment, Maidstone are just trying to make it as uncomfortable as possible for Graham Wesley's team. They're playing pretty direct into Mate, and he's winning everything. He's chesting things off, bringing players into play.
Parkinson against McAllister seconds ago. That could be a key battle in midfield. Sonny Miles wasn't too fussy about where it went. Joined in May from Tonbridge Angels, one of Maidstone's local rivals. Roy Hodgson's old club, I think. Tonbridge Angels. There was no foul play over on the far side. Headed out by Dean Wells, at least towards the touchline. Didn't quite go all the way out. And the pace unrelenting, just as we anticipated. And Parkinson, very popular player here. Never one to hold back. Jack Parkinson.
So he'll be crucial tonight. So seen him play at Welling. Which is sometimes when the emotions of the games goes away from you, players like him need to get on the ball and dictate play. So they're not playing pretty football at the minute, Maidstone. They are literally hoofing it up to the front three and just playing in Stevenage's half and making it uncomfortable for the back four.
Jerome Okimo will be the player to take the throw for Stevenage. Summer signing from Wealdstone. Deacon holding it up. Rory Deacon all along the ground. Darius Charles put to work there. Referee has spotted the infringement, a bit of afters, and they continue. And Parkinson, one of the players involved, McAllister with him. We did mention that potential tussle.
So, certainly been a fiery start. There's the high foot on McAllister there. It's a certain free kick. But again, just the follow through on Rodgers as well. You can just feel the emotion of the game, can't you, Derek? It's certainly hostile.
It was always going to be thus. Jay May just waiting for the ball to arrive. He's happy to compete for it. Colin was lurking. By Deacon, who'd gone back to become the extra defender for Stevenage. May once more trying to find that pocket of space, but there's Chris Day to claim it for the visitors.
You've done well there, Chris Day. Saw the danger early, come off his line quickly. But again, I think the line that Stevenage are playing is just a little bit too high. Whether or not the 3G surface has made a difference.
We'll get stuck in, I'm sure, is the message from Jay Saunders. Plenty of bite about Maidstone's early play. Offside flag had been raised. And just a reminder that we enjoy hearing what you have to say about these FA Cup ties. At BT Sport Football on Twitter, hashtag #WeAreIn. Walton, acted to give it a hit, dropping ball. Now, what's he given here? A bit of confusion out there on the pitch. Almost a little set to. Well, they haven't let it rest, the Maidstone players. How's this going to be resolved? Lee Barnard right in the thick of things. What did you spot, Adam?
Well, certainly a woeful shot from Walton I saw, but then you just see Barnard at the corner of my eye. I'm not too sure if it was with Miles or Coyle. He's had afters with, whether something's been said.
Play just grinding to a halt. There's Barnard, who trots over towards Simon Hooper. Barnard and Coyle. Well, the card is out, as you can see. Taking plenty of time about explaining what he's doing here, and it's a pair of cautions, Barnard and Coyle.
The two centre-halves of Maidstone are going to be physical. Maybe it was the elbow first from Coyle on Barnard's face there, and then just a push afterwards.
That's confirmation. Lee Barnard, 3 goals in 3 games for Stevenage since the loan stint began. Jamie Coyle, player coach for Maidstone United, in the book as well. 1-0 to Maidstone. Was nodded on by Fletcher. It's a very soft goal from the Stevenage point of view. Not that Maidstone are complaining. Jay May. The decision has gone against him.
They just can't cope with him at the moment. And you can even see with the goal. It's just route one, basically. Such a simple goal to score. It's poor defending. You need to be covering round. Okay, it wasn't the best of shots there, but you have to put that down as a goalkeeper's mistake. Fair play to Franny Collin, always following in for any kind of mistake.
Not Chris Day's proudest moment. 40-year-old keeper. Began at Tottenham, spells at Crystal Palace, Watford. Now Stevenage have got to pick themselves up.
Well, they haven't settled into the game whatsoever. When you come against these non-league teams, you've got to be physical and you've got to match them. And Stevenage haven't done that.
Tom Mills attempted to control it. Just losing out in his battle. It was placed across by Lee. Walton, forest of legs. Will there be another chance? Oh! It's going to be a corner. Barnard tried to test Lee Morgan.
Well, this is a top quality save from Morgan. And they're defending for their lives at the moment, Maidstone. They're throwing bodies in the way. And they managed to clear it, but again, they're getting on second balls. And that's a quality save. Barnard heads it down.
All hands on deck for Maidstone United. Plenty of tall targets in there for Stevenage. This one comes to the rescue of the Kent club. Well, Morgan earning his corn.
What makes the saves better? Lee Barnard heads it down, and there is a zip on this surface, and that's a top quality save. Does everything right, moves his feet well, gets a good hand to it.
Walks away with a hat-trick of awards last season. Lee Morgan, Managers Award as best player, Players Player Award, and he got the nod from the fans to boot.
So even his kicking warming up, I noticed he's had a good strike on him, and that's what led to the first goal. It was a difficult ball back to him. By God, did he strike it.
Barnard waits. Cracking atmosphere at the Gallagher Stadium. Early joy for Maidstone. Played by Simpson. Deacon ready to receive it. Kimo and Deacon together. Charles. Tantalising one. No end product for Stevenage. Dale is the player who managed to get there on the end. And this is the scene. Compact little grounds. Capacity just over 2,000. It's alive with noise. Jay May has been a battler, tapping it out with McAllister. James Rogers is the link man in midfield for Maidstone, plays alongside Parkinson. Bodkin is looking for options. Didn't think much of those options ahead of him. Parkinson, Rogers, that was a bit slack. Barnard waiting to capitalise. Maidstone have it again. Bodkin. He's maybe biting off more than he could chew.
This way Maidstone will find out. If you take too many touches on the ball, Stevenage will clutter around you, try and take the ball back off you.
So the build up from the back by Stevenage. Searching at a goal so early in this replay. Barnard made the leap. Lee Morgan, former Welsh under-21 international, would like nothing better than a crack at Wrexham in the next round of the FA Cup.
You just wonder how much is in the tank. Jay Saunders' team, can they keep this going for the 90 minutes?
Right on top of them, side. Put your strength on top of them. Drop off and play off.
Long throw by Henry. Well, it means so much to these Maidstone players. Fisher was about to take the throw. They'll let Mills do the honours instead. They were slightly off balance. Kimo. Trying to keep the pressure high. The Stones, as they're affectionately known. Barnard is one of the players who can make the difference. Whelpdale too. He gives it a lash. Chris Whelpdale off target.
That's what Lee Barnard brings to you. His awareness and his control. He knows where Whelpdale is. It's a great first touch. Maybe the tackle from Mills just puts him off a little bit.
Chris Whelpdale went as far as the fourth round with Peterborough back in 2008. He was left out of the matchday squad on Saturday. You suspect with this replay in mind, wrapped in cotton wool almost.
He's certainly a key player for Graham Wesley's team with the goals that he brings, the way that he plays in off that line.
There's Bodkin and May. And Colin, he was onside. Richard almost spilling over to the other end.
So say at the moment, Jay May's absolutely dominating the back four of Stevenage, and they can't quite cope with him at the moment.
Well, they're all appealing, the Maidstone players, as Fletcher took the tumble. Rogers now. Forward by Simpson. It's going to be this day's ball. Well, Jay May, constant nuisance as far as Stevenage are concerned.
Just say sometimes Football League talent will always come through. Sometimes physical presence with a non-league player is always difficult to play against.
Oh, possibilities. Just no way through. It's Charlie Lee in the advanced position for Stevenage. Charles, so no one in particular. And Tom Mills brings it down. May again, he's everywhere. Now Colin, and it's opening up for Bodkin. Play continuing advantage with Maidstone. Fletcher's waiting in the centre. Stamped away by Okimo. He knew he had to get there.
Well, if they don't sort the situation out, they're trying to contend with Jay May. They're going to concede another one at the moment, Stevenage. It's a great ball in there. So well defended there by Okimo.
Bodkin, who played it over, in position on the far side. May and Colin waiting inside the box. Coyle's up too. And it was inviting it off on the volley for Parkinson. A short throw this time. Fletcher. Well, now they're looking a little bit more exposed. Maidstone United. Deacon very disappointed with himself. Had to reorganise tonight, Maidstone, because Steve Watt, the club captain, unavailable because of injury. So a reshuffle at the back, Watt, the Scotsman. That's on the books of Chelsea.
So a quality player.
And Fletcher. Does he have the composure? And he just waited for that one to drop. Alex Fletcher for Maidstone.
Ronnie Henry was caught wrong side. And again, it's just a nothing ball. He has to be opening out, looking over his right shoulder. Fletcher does it there. So he makes the block in the end. But it's just so simple how Maidstone are getting in at the moment. Just route one and just gambling.
Plenty of activity. Oh, and it's Chris Day. Well, I suppose that's one way to do it. Punch happy.
So fortunately for him, it went out for a corner.
Well, not convincing.
So he hasn't had the best start to the game so far, with the mistake for the goal and a poor punch there. You need to put this back under the bar, keep him under pressure.
And the corner comes over again, and Coyle will not to be for Maidstone. Tense times for Graham Wesley and Stevenage, and it has been a twitchy first half for this goalkeeper Chris Day. Rogers. It comes to Welldale. Maidstone know all about playing on this surface, the tricks of the trade. So I heard Jake Humphrey say earlier, it is used extensively in many other countries, actually in Scotland. 11 SPFL grounds in the various divisions. They have 3G surfaces, 2 in the top flight. But it's not what Stevenage are used to.
I think even Graham Wesley can't blame the pitch whatsoever.
3G engineering. Long plastic fibres knitted together, covered usually in rubber or cork granules to replicate mud. Well, that's going to be a free kick in a position of menace.
What they need to do here is really get someone to really sit in front of him a lot more. It's just so simple and too easy at the moment. He's really, really dominating the back two of Stevenage.
And Chris Day is making sure that wall is lined up to his satisfaction. He's going to have to go back a few yards, I fancy, yeah. Franny Collin. picture of concentration. Colin for Maidstone. Insufficient guile. And Jamie Coyle. It's a no-nonsense sort of ball. There goes Deacon. And back to front. Well, they've done that from time to time. Darius Charles. Parkinson. And Fletcher trying to keep Henry occupied. And the fans very close to the action. It's a bit of a throwback experience in many ways, this. Notwithstanding the 3G pitch, which is something brand new. One day he's going to be able to feel that one. And I'll tell you what, Jay May really giving the Stevenage defenders headaches.
What they're doing so well, he is playing the central figure and everything is going through him. But what they're doing really well is they're getting players around him, Colin and Fletcher especially. It's all right playing the long ball up to people. If you don't get people gambling on the second ball, then it's not going to work. And you saw with the goal how it did work.
Finally taken by Okino. Deacon. Walton. Former Hartlepool player, Simon Walton. Spent the last couple of years there. Walton's free kick.
So that's a clever foul there. Just takes a slight nudge from Jay May on Walton to fall down. This is a dangerous area because Brian Wesley does work a lot on set plays.
Darius Charles inside the penalty area. Can play as a striker, he's a defender tonight. It's in by Henry for Stevenage. And Fletcher away. A cheer from the home supporters. Okimo, ambitious sort of ball. He was asking an awful lot of Charlie Lee.
You're not expecting a player of his height to be winning too many diagonal balls. They need to get the ball down Stevenage, getting it playing. When they do, Maidstone drop off very, very deep, and that allows them opportunities to get into the front men as well.
Well, they must be delighted. Terry Casey, one of the co-owners. Bill Williams, the chief executive. Former player himself. Came out to Fletcher. So by Okimo. Now has to get wired in again. Walton was offering a bit of support. And Barnard went in pursuit of the ball. Sonny Miles clatters it clear. And doesn't please the home supporters. Doesn't please Fletcher either. Wilson. The idea was to get it to Deacon. Okimo. Rogers found himself deep inside his own half. May. Rogers and Parkinson in midfield have that magnificent understanding. One will often sit, the other will be allowed to go.
They've done well, the pair of them. It's always going to be a difficult night, especially with the quality that's around them. Whip down McAllister. Walton players like that will want to try and run off the ball and make it difficult as possible. So those two have had a very disciplined performance first half. And McAllister. That was Bodkin with that chisel pass. Franny Collin doing the pursuing. Was a whirlwind start by Maidstone. Didn't want to let Stevenage settle. We'll let Peters out. Franny Collin, the goal, 1 minute and 8 seconds after the kick-off. Fastest goal in the FA Cup proper so far this season. Not including the qualifying rounds, of course. So he would have dreamt of an opportunity like that to fall to him last night. All good strikers do that. You always follow in on a goalkeeper's mistake, and he did that.
Ronnie Henry. Slightly misjudged by Charlie Lee. Former Gillingham, Peterborough, Millwall, Spurs player. There's McAllister who felt the pain. McAllister, the Irishman, on loan from Shrewsbury. There he is again, David McAllister. Bit of head tennis here. There's instant control by Fletcher. But moving across was Charles. Well, they're lapping this up, the Maidstone supporters. We welcome your comments, of course, on Twitter at BTSport Football. Hashtag we are in. Well, they are certainly in. The Stones supporters have been participants almost. Scratching of heads in the Stevenage camp. This is not going to plan.
That really just sums up the first 42 minutes for Stevenage. Good possession, give it away cheaply. So they've been outmuscled in every area of the pitch defensively and attackingly. They have to get the ball into Lee Barnard's feet a lot more. They just can't keep playing the long ball up to his head. So Miles and Coyle will win those headers all day. He'll be looking for a big reaction from his players second half, Wesley.
Stevenage have yet to score in any cup competition this season. Knocked out of the Johnston's Paint Trophy and the League Cup without troubling the scorers. Well, it was speculative. Not quite on the target. Deacon, he's been pretty shot happy in this first half.
So it was a great diagonal out to him. And it's really Bodkin that should have stayed with him. Turned his back. Never really troubling Morgan from that distance.
Stevenage are unbeaten in 4 games since going down 3-2 at Portsmouth on the 21st of October. Inching towards half-time here at the Gallagher Stadium. Indications are we'll have at least 2 added minutes. Walton is all the way back just about. Barnard. It's Miles who takes charge. Sonny Miles. And they wanted to get it forward swiftly. It was simmering again. It's Fletcher again.
So slightly fortunate there, Dean Wells. It was a foul. I just say gets caught the wrong side again. So Fletcher didn't really need to touch him there because the ball was already going over his head.
The winners of this tie to go to Wrexham on the 6th of December. Here's Coyle. And he's in the Steve Watt position in central defence with the captain absent. Ronnie Henry. And the idea on the part of Lee was to play it to Whelpdale. Still bouncing up and down behind the goal there, away to our right. Graham Wesley will shortly be able to get his troops together, try to impart his words of wisdom. It's always going to be a difficult task against a fired up Maidstone on an unfamiliar playing surface. There's confirmation of the 2 added minutes at the end of this first half. Henry back to Day. What would you be stressing, Adam, were you in the shoes of Graham Wesley?
I think he needs the reaction from his players physically more than anything, because every time the ball has gone up to Jay Mate, he has won everything in the air. They've been out-muscled up front, they've been out-muscled in midfield, and sometimes you can't give any non-league teams any incentive whatsoever to really get themselves into the game.
Well, Charles was the guilty party.
So he's trying to win a ball that was never going to be his there. Charles actually does catch May right at the top of the knee.
Well, I'm sure Charles will confirm it. May has been a handful.
I think it's been brilliant first half. Really held up the ball well. He's chested it down, won plenty of flick-ons as well.
Together, actually in a line, the Stevenage defenders. It's different. Let's see what Maidstone can conjure. It's put away by Whelpdale. There's Miles again with that direct ball. Half time in Kent, and problems for Stevenage to solve. An early goal from Franny Collin. It goes down as a goalkeeping mishap from Chris Day. Not his finest moment, the 40-year-old, and it's Jay Saunders and Maidstone United in front. Maidstone 1, Stevenage 0 at the interval.
The FA Cup on BT Sport, brought to you by William Hill.
Fantastic run! Oh, what a goal! Check this out.
Unbelievable! What a goal! This one could be a firecracker.
What a massive moment that could be for Celtic.
What a finish! 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. Got to know how to hold it. Like on him rolling. Mashed potato. Now come on, y'all. Let's say it one more time.
If you love a bit of fun, you'll love a bit of Betfred.
Grip performance with A-rated wet grip. Available now at QuickFit. Goodyear, made to feel good.
The FA Cup on BT Sport, brought to you by William Hill.
That is the biggest half-time team talk of Jay Saunders' management career. It's 1-0 to the non-league side. We told you not to write Maidstone off, didn't we? Hey, listen, hope you got no plans for December the 7th, because we have an FA Cup second-round double-header for you. Clearly these fans are excited about it. We've got Gateshead facing the lowest-ranked side left in the Cup, Warrington Town, from 11:30. And our second game sees two League One sides meet, with Colchester welcoming Peterborough live on BT Sport 1 from 4 o'clock. So as we've seen, Maidstone doing themselves proud on their first ever televised match. The winner will face Kevin Wilkins, Wrexham side. I wonder what you've made of them so far, Maidstone, very briefly.
Yeah, they're very strong. The central two have impressed me. Parkinson and Rogers, when they've had to help the ball on, they've helped it into good areas. You know, when they've got a chance to get it down and play, they've played. And you know, really, they're bossing the game at the moment in there. There's no real danger. I think Stevenage has got to shorten the game up if they're going to have any joy. But you know, fair play to Mason. Terrific start.
Absolutely. Peter Taylor's also alongside us. And if we look at that first goal, people will point to the 3G pitch. They'll point to Stevenage's defending. But let's take nothing away from Maidstone. What a start. 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Absolutely nothing away. It was a great kick from Lee Morgan. It was a great header from May. The goalkeeper then hit the target. I think the goalkeeper maybe should have held it. But then Collins is the best finisher in the club, and he's in the right areas. He's took the gamble. And it's a great start, and I think that's where they deserve to be leading.
Yeah, Kev, tell us what you've made of Stevenage at the back. Have you learned that if you come out and attack this match in the way that Maidstone did, you can get some joy against this defence? Yeah,
I think so. You know, on the surface, that Stevenage won't have been used to. I think Mason have put the ball in good areas and asked questions of them. They've got, they've got behind them at times. Jay May, the lad, the big lad up top, has won some good top hats, and Collins prepared to work off him.
I love that. Won some good top hats. Chris Day's been under plenty of pressure in that goal, hasn't he?
Yes, well, I think, to be fair to Maidstone, they've put him under that pressure, and they've made sure bodies are around him that he can't come and take things cleanly, and I'm not so sure that was the foul, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Stevenage have had a couple of chances to get back into this, but Lee Morgan has stood firm, and I didn't realise this young man is your goalkeeper coach at Gillingham.
Well, we've got a couple of goalkeeping coaches, and Lee's one of them, and I think he was in this morning, to be honest with you. I think he was working hard with the goalkeepers this morning, but I think he's pulled off two wonderful saves, and this is not easy, the way it's gone down. Great save with the left hand, and I think the next one's an even better save, to be honest with you. This fella, Deacon, hit the target, and that's a very, very good save. So he looks very lively, and I'm sure if he's got a chance, he'd be happy being tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. I bet he would have a smile on his face, as ever, though, in football. 1-0 is not a safe scoreline. Look, both of these teams are clearly very keen to face you in the next round, because it's been a pretty spiky affair. Plenty of passion on show out there.
Yeah, you'd expect that in a game of so much depending on it and what have you. And I think the referee's dealt with things very well. There's a little bit of handbags there, and he's booked both players. It'd been nice not to see neither of them booked, but he's dealt with it, and hopefully there's all 11 stay on the field, and the game finishes with all 11 on the field, and again made a best man win.
And halfway through this first half, you leant back and you said to me, this is what football's about. Football at this level, this kind of passion in front of this kind of crowd.
Well, it is. I say I've been very lucky. I've been fortunate that I've been involved with all the levels, and this is great. You talk to supporters. You've got a club that's not expected to win, giving everything they've got in the FA Cup. It's fantastic.
It's great, and it's not over yet. 45 minutes still to come. Second half is live next.
The FA Cup on BT.
Non-league Maidstone are just 45 minutes away from a cup upset in the first round of the FA Cup in this replay this evening. But how about this for an FA Cup sob story? Steve Day is the club captain here, and you failed a fitness test for tonight's match, Steve, at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, I picked up a little injury on Monday night. We came in for the extra training session, and unfortunately I felt a little pull in my thigh. I would give it to every chance to get ready for tonight, but unfortunately got to 6 o'clock and it just wasn't right, so I didn't want to risk it.
I feel for you, because the manager said to me, Steve Watt is the first name on my team sheet when he's fit. How frustrating has it been for you, though, having to watch on the bench tonight, despite the fact the lads have played so well?
Oh, I'm never a great watcher of football, I'd much rather be out there. I'm kicking every ball, every challenge with the boys there, but so the boys have been fantastic first half, and hope they can continue it in the second half.
And what did Jay have to say in the changing room at half-time?
Much and such of the same, really. Obviously, we've got to be wary of them. They're going to come out the blocks the first 15 minutes, I think, and really put us under pressure. So just much and such of the same, and same energy, and really try and put them in the back foot, maybe catch them a couple of times in the counter like we've been doing.
And in the second half, fitness is going to be key.
It will be, but we've got a very fit group. I think everyone will be surprised at how fit we will. You know, I think even up at their place in the first game, I believe they were caught a little surprised at how fit we actually were. So I said maybe later on in the game it will be, but hopefully we can maybe get a goal by then and make it a little bit more comfortable.
All right, Steve Watt, top man. I'm sorry you're frustrated on the bench, but at least you're winning at the moment. Thanks very much for joining us. And now let me hand you back to Adam Virgo, who's alongside Derek Ray.
Thanks again, Jake. Always good to hear from Steve Watt, the tall Aberdonian, and no two ways about it. The Stones would much rather have him on the pitch, but unavailable through injury. Second half begins. It's Maidstone United attacking the goal to our right, playing towards the town end, where the regulars are situated. That very early goal representing the difference tonight. 1 minute and 8 seconds. Franny Collin. Forward by Sonny Miles. There was a bit of contact there. Bodkin up against Okimo. Well, Adam, what will be the important tactical points in the second half?
Well, for Maidstone, they really need just to keep doing what they did first half and keep putting it into Jay, mate. Don't change something if it's working for you. He's won everything in the air so far, and Colin and Flisher as well played off him so well. So for Stevenage, they need to get the ball down a little bit more and start playing.
It was nearly a dangerous ball. Fired forward by Lee Worgan. McAllister, one of the players back there defending. Infringement spotted by Simon Hooper. Flisher wasn't quite sure about it.
So he's saying he's gone up with a high knee there. Slightly harsh there, so Flisher's only got his eye on the ball.
Whelpdale, the recipient of the free kick. Wilson was in position. The defenders start to back off. Stumble by Lee. Oh, and how about that for a response? Darius Charles for Stevenage. Just what was required. Level pegging in this replay.
Well, what a start to the half. And Maidstone were just expecting a long ball into the middle. And it was Walton and Lee that played the short one. And it really turns both Maidstone players inside out. So Sonny Miles has to be closer to Darius Charles. He's in acres of space there. And he's got so much time to control that into the goal. It's a disappointing goal to give away so early in the second half. We'll take nothing away from the finish.
Well, we did mention, didn't we, earlier, that Charles can be deployed as a striker. Tremendous instinct there. Enough degree of difficulty. Deacon. Stevenage buoyed by that. Just narrowly wide off the boot of Rory Deacon.
He cuts inside Bodkin. Got to keep him on his left. It's a decent strike. I do think Morgan had that covered though. How much will the goal affect Maidstone?
Jay Saunders' side scored at the beginning of the first half. But now it's the turn of Stevenage at the start of the second through Darius Charles. 26-year-old Londoner, born in Ealing. Deacon with a change of direction. Wanted to pass, didn't quite work out for him. Charles is happy to take over. Second of the turn was by Whelpdale. Maneuvering his way into position. Bodkin for Maidstone. Oh, misstep there. Whelpdale. Well, you've really got to box in. Can be a match winner. Deacon's pass. Oh, it took a deflection It's off the boot of Lee. Let's run through the two teams for you again. Here's Simpson starting for Maidstone tonight. 17-year-old with Steve Watt out injured. Fanny Collin, number 10, with the opening goal of this contest. It's been cancelled out by Darius Charles. Stevenage side, Wells playing alongside Charles in central defence. McAllister and Walton, key figures in midfield. Barnard leading the line. It'll be interesting to see if he remains with Stevenage or not. The indications are not. It's taken by Colin. Bodkin. Colin. Barnard. As the player back there as the extra defender. 1 minute and 41 seconds into the second half. The goal for Stevenage from Charles. Well, that one's completely overhit. Disappointingly for Fleischer.
So you sometimes wonder if half-time does come at the right time for you. For Jane Saunders, it hasn't, because Maidstone haven't come out in the second half whatsoever. And Stevenage have really started well. They're dictating play, they're passing the ball with a purpose. They're now getting to every single second ball.
So we heard Peter Taylor at half-time talking about the need for Stevenage to go shorter with the passing.
I completely agree with him. They tried to play Maidstone at their own game and it didn't work. Physically, Maidstone were a lot better in what they did.
Short and crisp from Stevenage at the beginning of the second half. And the goal from Charles, but now it's in by Maidstone. Chris Day was alert, trying to get his glove to the ball. Bodkin. Oh, and it nearly fell for Sonny Miles. Central defender becoming a central attacker just for a fleeting moment. Oh, this could be an opportunity. Oh, it was beaten down by Day. The shot from Coyle. Close shave.
Well, you think that Colin's really going to strike it first time, but he's got the awareness to look over his right shoulder and put in Jamie Coyle. Say people question Chris Day first half, but he certainly makes up for it with a save there.
Charlie Lee beside the touchline, almost skating with the ball at his feet. Difficult angle, but he made the goalkeeper work. Lee Worgan. Charlie Lee on the flank.
He did well there, just bounced right in front of him. Sometimes for a goalkeeper, they're the ones they spill.
Now Bodkin going on a mazy run for Maidstone. It was a poor pass. One goal apiece in this replay. It will be decided tonight, if necessary, by means of extra time and penalties. Fleischer. "13 goals from Fleischer in all competitions this season. It's quite the threat. Mills and Fleischer with that almost intuitive understanding on the Maidstone left. Simpson. Trying to get the better of Deacon. Okimo for Stevenage. And Tom Mills showed too much of it to David McAllister. And the switch of play might be on. Barnard. Brought it down beautifully. Walton. Well, Dale just thought about shooting for a brief moment. Henry from the right. Barnard, amongst others, waiting inside the penalty area for Stevenage. Okimo. Flighted ball. Barnard was the target. Fleischer. Well, nothing wrong with that idea, and it was very nearly on for Bodkin on the right. It was Fleischer to May. Nearly.
Just got to be careful sometimes, trying to overplay in, you know, Maidstone's half, leaving yourself vulnerable at the back, leaving yourself 3-on-3.
And Simon Walton acknowledging that it was an errant pass on his part, capable of much better. Nearly 10 minutes into the second half, Maidstone 1, Stevenage 1, this FA Cup first round replay. Oh, it was acrobatic. J. May. He's battling it out with Charles. Now Walton looks to spray the ball around. Ronnie Henry, and it's Tom Mills to safety. Well, Jay Saunders, the Maidstone manager, is with us. Jay, your thoughts on the turn of events right at the start of the second half?
Yes, disappointing start. We sort of said to them, first 15 are crucial to keep it nice and tight and don't give anything away. And I just felt we could have dealt better with the delivery into the box. We had two defenders against one and still managed to get the delivery in, and then to have that much room in the area is disappointing. But the boys are still showing good character, and we're not out of it.
Yeah, you must be happy, Jay, with the overall effort of the players so far.
Yeah, no, we've been good. We've had a few chances, and if we could have taken one of them, it might be a different story. But it is what it is. It's one of them. We've got to show that character again and hopefully respond.
Thanks for joining us, Jay. We'll talk to you later.
Cheers.
Deacon, a delicate ball. Whistle's gone.
There's a great header there from Coyle. He knew he was going to get. So the word clattered. It's a great ball in from Deacon. He's just got to hang it up. So you got McAllister and Lee attacking it, but he did well there. The skip up.
Jimmy Coyle, 31-year-old, holds a UEFA A licence. Very serious about his coaching. And as a Crystal Palace trainee a few years ago now.
So two centre-halves for Maidstone have dealt well with Barnard and Lee.
Rogers trying to open up the Stevenage defence. It was Wells at the reading of the situation. What Maidstone needed. Parkinson with Lee in the vicinity for Stevenage, and here's Lee again. Hand up. Here's Error.
So I've held my hand up plenty of times through my career.
Cut and thrust in an FA Cup first round replay. Non-league team against the Football League side. Well, it's been gripping. As that Stevenage goal turned the tide. Welpdale, little lick on the way through, but comfortable enough for Worgan.
I certainly think the goal has really changed Maidstone's emphasis in this second half. Even the way Jay Saunders was talking, you could just tell he's really knocked the stuffing out of him. They look a little bit tired at the moment. They're dropping off very, very deep.
Barnard. Well, he was keen to get on with it. Miles is on the ground.
Just caught the left hand of Lee Barnard in his face. I think it's malicious enough there, just trying to hold the ball up.
Sonny Miles, the 24-year-old defender, signed from Tonbridge Angels in May. With more than 200 appearances for Tonbridge Angels. Simon Wilson at the controls for Stevenage. Wilson again of Simon Hooper. And it's Miles again in the wars at the moment. Not again, he must be thinking.
I'm actually laughing to myself. You get one in the face with your hand, and now you get one in the back of the head.
What did I do to deserve that?
Not a lot. I'll say he'll take that if his team can go through tonight, though.
This ground set in a valley, not very far from the town centre. Used to have to ground share before the Gallagher Stadium was constructed. Shared with Sittingbourne, Ashford Town. It's a matter of frustration to all concerned. It is a wonderful home venue. As we said earlier, the 3G pitch really comes in handy for a club at the club of a community. You can rent it out yourself if you live here. Most of the players train on it twice a week. Advantage being that training sessions are never postponed.
I think that's the one thing that Jay Saunders did pick up on, the biggest advantage, especially when you go into your non-league teams. You've always got some grass to play on. So I've been really, really impressed with the setup here.
Charles. Intended for Barnard. Both teams will have to play on Saturday in their respective divisions. It's all about the FA Cup tonight. Bodkin has guile in his repertoire. Bodkin. And Colin is able to receive it. Back to goal. Parkinson. There's that confident air about him. Fletcher, deflection there. And full credit to Day, was able to prevent what would have been a corner.
That was a great run from Bodkin down the right-hand side. Skips past Akimo too easily. When the ball did fall to Colin in the end, couldn't quite get the control and get it on the half-turn.
And Nottingham Forest trainee, Matt Bodkin. Here's Bodkin once again. It's a personal trainer by day. And the referee has decided to give the free kick, and there will be a yellow card as well for Deacon.
Say, Aaron Simpson, he's got great pace. It's a certain foul. Could Simon Hooper maybe played the advantage on? Say, much better play there down the right-hand side. Blows his whistle there. Certainly had a case for that.
Well, Simpson certainly thought that play ought to continue. Now, do Maidstone mean business with this set piece? Granny Colin to deliver. Colin was angled towards Coyle. Dale having to concentrate to the maximum.
You can tell with Brian Wesley's setup from set plays, really compacts that 6-yard box, almost like a wall, Derek. They're happy for the ball to go diagonal and be ready for the second one that comes in.
It's coming from Bodkin this time. Fletcher, Bodkin is letting it bounce. It's Henry who tried to take charge. Fletcher. Little bob and a weave. Walton, contact, free kick. And they'll try again, Maidstone.
These are the areas where you need a quality delivery. They've got good physical presence, Maidstone. Had to use that.
Well, that's the Stevenage way when it comes to defending at set pieces. That was a useful ball when all was said and done. And they try to keep it alive. After he had received it from Bodkin. Mills. Corned it well, and Parkinson right across the face of goal. Bodkin scampering in. Flicked by Parkinson. There it ends for now, as far as Maidstone are concerned.
It's causing problems for Stevenage. They do put long diagonals and balls into the middle. They have been the better of both teams. They haven't really done that second half whatsoever.
Stevenage have recorded just one away win in League Two this season against AFC Wimbledon by 3-2 on the 30th of August. Through the most recent away match at Tranmere. Deacon and McAllister had eyes for goal. And the counter-attack for Maidstone. Fisher can come into his own. And it was an awkward ball. There was an inquiry there from the Maidstone players. Handball or not?
And that's the one thing I will say about this 3G surface. The zip on it is a lot different to grass. We had a little kick about before, and the zip up on it comes up a lot quicker. Certainly hits the chest though.
Yeah, not even close, was it? It bounced off Okimo. Another corner. Swirl from Maidstone again. Certainly haven't lost their belief after the Stevenage equaliser from Charles. Simpson to time his jump. Very eager competitor, the 17-year-old Aaron Simpson. Barnard. Okimo. Now McAllister, the Irishman. And from Drogheda. Henry in position. Oh, that one almost took off. Lee was challenging for it. Maidstone stand firm. Those two in the middle have been excellent, Coyle and Miles.
It's a great ball in. Good run from Lee, got in between the two defenders there.
Deacon. They've had to excel. Miles and Coyle. Almost at the midway point of the second half. Who's it going to be? Maidstone United or Stevenage, the winners to face Wrexham in the second round of the FA Cup on the 6th of December. Ronnie Henry. His 345th Stevenage appearance. He's second on the all-time list. What a servant he has been, the 30-year-old. Charles. Walton was showing for it. McAllister. Neat and tidy from Stevenage. Walton. Now Lee. Barnard was hovering. Simpson away for Maidstone. Now Deacon. Looking to release Okimo. Bodkins had to go back to be the extra defender for Maidstone. Job done for the moment. The Wyman Premier League side. Deacon, Bodkin. And stabbed away by Simpson.
You can even see now Stevenage are growing in confidence as the game goes on. So they're passing it much better with purpose, getting the ball out wide. And they're really using that extra space now that Maidstone are really dropping off deep.
There's Lee Barnard. Simon Walton. On a passing side, you always feel that 3G surface ought to be of help in winter time when, let's face it, grass surfaces aren't always reliable.
I was saying before, it just does need a little bit of zip on it.
Dale, oh, that had zip. With ferocity by Chris Weltdale.
Well, it's a great strike from Weltdale, catches it so cleanly. As you can just see, Morgan watches it all the way. Good hands from the keeper.
Maidstone keep answering. This one, it looks as though Stevenage are about to cut loose. The non-league side do something positive at the other end.
So concentration in both boxes now to find that bit of quality to get the goal and defensively be switched on.
Cul-de-sac as Fletcher received it from Bodkin. Spin of the ball finally favouring Worgan. Weltdale, Walton, Lee. Oh, and it might work out for Barnard, but the offside flag is up. The decision had been reached.
He should have left that for Weltdale. It's brilliant play again. Round the corner. So I think he is an inch onside Barnard, but Weltdale should have really taken control of that one.
Weltdale, Barnard, two of the highly significant figures in this Stevenage side tonight. This is the scene at the Gallagher Stadium. Open for business at the start of the 2012-2013 season. And now Colin has tried to find the ball. It's away by Okimo. Maidstone happy to dig in, and it's Walton, pings it forward. Covering up for each other, the Maidstone players. Rogers into reverse. Coyle. Rolls forwards. Oh, but Maidstone gives Stevenage something to think about. Jay May hasn't had nearly the same impact in the second half in comparison, Adam, with his first half showing.
Well, they haven't really got him into the game at all. They were really just firing down the middle for him to flick the balls on. But just there, key areas in the final third. He needs to have better control.
Oh, now the turn was by Fletcher. Oh, the back flick. Been exquisite had it come off. Bodkin gives it a whack. Blocked by Okimo. Here's Lee. Did well. Barnard. It's a bit ungainly. It's got a bit tangled up. Rogers. Bodkin. Simpson has got himself higher up the pitch than usual. Bodkin is the man who normally would have to cover under those circumstances. Parkinson, I think, knew what he was doing, well aware that there might be danger around him.
So luckily for Aaron Simpson made the overlap. There was a massive gap there. So Simon Hill would have played advantage. They would have got themselves in. That's a late challenge there.
Former Welling and Woking player, Jack Parkinson. Walton, that's the one that got away. And don't forget, coming up on Saturday on BT Sport 1 from 10 in the morning, Fletch and Sav live from Edinburgh, live from Tynecastle. Hearts against Rangers. In the lunchtime slot, the Scottish Championship. First against second, Sunday the 7th of December, 11:30 in the morning, BT Sport 1. Gateshead and Warrington, two non-league sides going at it in the second round of the FA Cup. And later that day, on the same channel, Colchester and Peterborough. It'll be be from 4 on Sunday the 7th of December. The winners here to face Wrexham in round 2. And we're none the wiser at the moment. 1 goal apiece. There's a chemo. Barnard just was hoping that there might be a mistake from Fletcher. Didn't manifest itself. Walton scoops it in. There's Lee. Wasn't part of the script as far as Charlie Lee was concerned. Started every game this season for Stevenage. Well, it might be a relatively new ground this, but there's an old school feel to the proceedings. What are we in store for in the final 15 minutes of the 90? I say the 90 because, of course, extra time will come into play if need be. Plenty of pacing around in the technical area. Ben Greenhow might well be deployed by Jay Saunders any second now. Colin. Stevenage had the measure of it. Fletcher. Plenty of power. There's McAllister. Walton. Very much the passer in chief for Stevenage. Oh, Colin had the boot raised. Deacon didn't think much of that.
I say he's been different class second half. Walton spraying diagonals left, right and centre. So slightly harsh there on Colin with the high foot.
Well, Charles, it came off Colin. Shortly be substitution time for Maidstone United. Charles. You heard the footsteps of May. Double D crutch move by Darius Charles. Okima. McAllister. Now Lee. To drag it forwards. Barnard couldn't quite get there. They've all put so much into this game at the back, the defenders for Maidstone. It will be Ben Greenhow to make his way on. Miles back on his feet. Same pair of hands. Lee Morgan. Two goals in this contest. Beginning of each half. Bodkin. And Parkinson using Simpson. Touch on by Colin. Parkinson. Skewed out of play. Well, now the change. Ben Greenhow is noted for being an impact player. Very effective off the bench. And Matt Bodkin sees his night come to an end, but the Maidstone supporters appreciate his contribution. Greenhow, by the way, has scored 5 goals this season, 3 goals in the qualifying rounds of the FA Cup. Played in Scotland last term for Inverness Caledonian Thistle when Terry Butcher, former England captain, was the manager. He thought highly of him.
So I'm not surprised with the substitution. So Bodkin was just looking a little bit tired. I say Chemo and Deacon, with the pace that they've got, they're really getting down that left-hand side.
Charlie Adams is going to come on for Stevenage. Peter Dembele will be the other substitute used. Going to be a double switch by Graham Wesley. Charlie Adams, the 20-year-old. Dembele, 26. French defender, came through the youth system at Rennes. Indications are that Akimo will be withdrawn. So we approach the final 10 minutes. They'll be settled within the 90. Will it go to extra time? Henry wanted to give it to Walton. Tail again for Henry, and a header by Lee. Goal kick. So now the double substitution. Can these two make the difference for Graham Wesley? Adams and Dembele. It will indeed be Okimo going off, so that's the first change. We had Dembele. Signed a new deal in the summer. Hasn't featured since making 3 consecutive starts in September. And Deacon bids goodbye to this match as well. Charlie Adams is on loan from Brentford. Had a loan spell at Barnet from the Bees last season.
So I'm not surprised as well that Graham Wesley's made that double substitution down his left-hand side. Really did feel sort of 5-10 minutes before, especially with the pace of Aaron Simpson down the right-hand side causing problems. There may be some fresh legs defensively. May see his team through to the next round. It's more tactical more than anything, I felt.
Both teams have Saturday matches to prepare for as well. Maidstone United against Met Police, Stevenage going to Northampton. It's the nature of the beast. Now Adams just losing his focus. And it's a night that young Simpson won't soon forget. Thrust into the spotlight. Probably wouldn't have played had Steve Watt been fit.
Credit where credit's due. A young lad, probably the biggest game of his life. Full credit for his performance tonight. Going forward, I think he's done very, very well. Good into good areas. And as a right back defensively, he's been sound as well.
Henry. Well, they have been wonderful in the air. Coyle and Miles. Free kick it'll be. Henry, the offender.
So that has been their best out ball for Maidstone. Getting it up along to the front three. So every time they put it long into the box, the way that Stevenage set up defensively, very, very narrow. Maybe play a short one, get them out of their positions a bit.
Parkinson up there beside May. May has got more of a peripheral figure in the second half. Dembele, it's his FA Cup debut. Lee. The defenders trying to get back in a hurry. Rogers is looking to slow down Lee. Tearing forward here, Tom Mills. Lee was waiting in the centre. Away by Charles. Coyle and Worgan. In the shadow of that beautifully appointed main stand. Well, they've all given so much. Players on both sides in this game. They might have to give a bit more the way this is going. Jay Saunders and Maidstone got off to the ideal start. Not so at the beginning of the second half. Well, they do use May to excellent effect. It's Parkinson, and again here, Parkinson. Simpson was crying out for the ball to be played to him. Aaron Simpson. Just not quite accurate enough. Greenhow, and there was a slip there by Henry. Flisher trying to take advantage of that.
So did well there, Chris State. Saw that Ronnie Henry slipped. Come off his line very, very quickly there.
And now Adams. Something to burst through. Inside the final 5 minutes at the Gallagher Stadium. Maidstone United, the non-league team from the Ryman Premier, holding their own against Stevenage from League 2. Wilson. McAllister. A little triangle here, Stevenage. Adams. Letting rip, the block was by Parkinson. Then stepped Miles. Oh, that nearly worked out. May was aware of the presence of Greenhow. Mills. There's a willing worker, Jay May. Lee. Looking for that telling ball. Weltdale looked as though he might be through. Worgan had to react. And after all that, it's going to be a goal kick. Lee Worgan to the rescue. Weltdale was in.
So it's Charlie Lee causing all the problems. I think he maybe could have just come off his line a little bit quicker, Worgan. But you do worry now when it comes into the last sort of 4 or 5 minutes. And they do get tired. Mentally, you get very, very tired.
Mills tried to help Worgan, making sure Weltdale had little to aim at. Well, the nerves must be jangling now, if they weren't before. On the town end, there's Greenhow. It's very much his game, a natural runner at opponent. Super ball, Colin again! What a moment for Maidstone United! 3 minutes left. It's all gone amber.
When you talk about a desire to run with the ball and just produce that little bit of quality, Ben Greenhow brought you this. Look at him run past Wells. And it's a brilliant ball in. And he loses Dembele and gets between Charles as well. And that's a great header there from Franny Collin. He just guides it past Day. What a header that is there. What a finish we've got now.
Guts and courage and quality. Brilliant move. Greenhow, the architect, and Franny Collin, the finisher, for the second time tonight.
So no wonder they run over to him, Ben Greenhow, and give him the applause. It was a quality ball, and he just ran and ran and ran. And when you just need that little bit of quality in the final third, he gave it to you.
Well, it's action stations for Stevenage. They know this is serious. Maidstone in front again. There is going to be a substitution for the Stones. Alex Brown to come on. Well, Franny Collin has etched his name in Maidstone United folklore. What a contribution. A goal at the very start and a goal near the end. Certainly at the 90. Alex Brown, midfield man, takes the place of striker Collin. just a whiff of offside, thinking back to the goal, but we'll return to that theme the next stoppage in play. There's Dembele in there for Stevenage. And fasten your seatbelts. And Henry, deflection there. Morgan says, that's mine. Well, Collins' goal. Should it have stood?
Yes, he's certainly onside there. So Ronnie Henry on the left-hand side keeps him on.
Greenhalgh was nearly in again. Well, the value of Ben Greenhalgh as a super sub demonstrated, just kicked away there by the substitute. Alex Brown, he's been on the pitch for a matter of seconds. That yellow card it is. 4 added minutes, a minimum thereof. Simon Wilson. Who can nod it towards goal? Well, it was Charles who scored earlier. A chastening experience this for Stevenage. Confirmation of the Brown booking. As he kicked the ball away. Stevenage change. Jack Jebb is on. McAllister has been withdrawn. Jebb, the 19-year-old on loan from Arsenal. Well, they've been right behind the Stones. Maidstone fans, and a free kick to the Ryman Premier League team. It's slithering away from Stevenage.
There'll be no rush whatsoever now to be taking this free kick. Just play into the corners, hold it up.
Simpson. It's the first game ever played in the FA Cup proper on a 3G surface. Not really sure Stevenage can lay the blame at the door of the pitch though, Adam.
I think the pitch is held up very, very well. Key areas of the game, they've switched off defensively, and that's what's cost them tonight.
Simon Walton. On. Understandable that Charles should be deployed as an auxiliary striker by Graham Wesley. Time against the Football League team. 300 travelled from Hertfordshire. Free kick to Maidstone. 2 more seconds will be wasted.
So everything's going their way. Thought it was handball to start with when he brought it down. But this is a poor foul to give away from Jebb there.
Moving ever closer, Maidstone United to a place in the second round of the FA Cup on a date with Wrexham. It's the stuff of dreams. Three divisions separate the two clubs. Certainly no real gulf in quality evident tonight. It's understandable that they would want to play it out towards the corner flag. Jay May holding it up. Well, he's done his job. Not quite celebration time just yet. Joe Saunders. He thought it was going to be difficult. Had the utmost belief in his Maidstone players. Oh, this is very cleverly done. Stevenage just not getting a touch of the ball, Adam.
Well, they were clever from the free kick, playing it into the corner, and May just running it out. They didn't do anything silly, which maybe were giving Stevenage a chance to get back into the game.
Well, that's exactly where Maidstone would want the ball at this juncture. Franny Collin. 2 goals from Collin, to the delight of the Townenders. to the disappointment of Stevenage. Stevenage heads are most definitely down. We've gone past the 4-minute mark at added time. J. May. Free kick. Will there be time to do very much with it? It's a yellow card. It's Parkinson who's had his name taken. Jack Parkinson in the book. Almost 5 minutes of added time now. What an evening here in Kent. Last throw of the dice from Stevenage. Morgan will want to make sure nothing untoward happens. It's a Maidstone milestone. The Kent side have reached the second round of the FA Cup for the very first time in their modern guise. An evening no one in this part of the country will forget. Jay Saunders, the victorious manager. And now he can exhale. They started so wonderfully tonight. Franny Collin with the early goal, and it was Franny Collin with the late goal as well, after Stevenage had replied through Darius Charles. And we have a mini pitch invasion here at the Gallagher Stadium. Maidstone are through, they'll face Wrexham. Let's join Jake Humphrey.
Thanks very much. I'm here with the goal scorer of both goals, Franny Collin. Right, Franny, I'll try and... I was going to say, Franny, I'll try and interview you without the fans getting too close, but I can't hold off the hordes. If you can hear me, tell me your emotions right now.
I don't know, to be fair. We thought we'd lost chance up at their place, but dug in again, and I think we deserved it again, to be fair.
And it was some ball from Ben Green out to you, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got a yard and he's put it on a plate really for me. I couldn't miss.
And a line on the spirit of these players that you share the dressing room with. There was 60 places and 3 leagues between you tonight.
Yeah, there was, but I said before the first game, we felt we was on an even playing field with them, and we went to their place and we matched them, and we done the same tonight.
Well, congratulations, and I think it's quite clear what it means to these fans, isn't it?
It's massive. They've had 25 years without a club in Maidstone. It's 3 years without coming back doing the promotion, and we're in the second round of the cup. They deserve every bit of it.
Wonderful, well done, congratulations. I think I'll move away from you because you're quite popular right now. Just to remind you at home, it was only a few years ago that this Maidstone side did not have a home. And now here they are in the second round of the FA Cup. The shock of the night belongs to them, and there's plenty to talk about. Make sure you stay with us.
The FA Cup on BT Sport, brought to you by William Hill.
Sit tight.
Brought to you by William Hill.
They haven't had a night like this in Maidstone since before the club was reformed back in 1992. They've made it through to the second round proper of the FA Cup. This is what's happening in the dressing room right now. And out here by the pitch, joining us, the manager, Jay Saunders. Jay, congratulations. How proud are you of your lads, both in there and out here?
To be honest, all season have been different gear, but tonight I thought to get the response we did after they scored is what I was delighted with, to be honest. I thought the heads could have gone, and against the full-time side they could have started to dominate us, but we pushed on, and I think over the two games we've deserved it.
And I'll tell you what, this man has made you look like a very good manager indeed, bringing him on and that ball into the box. Congratulations, Ben, it was a cracker.
Honestly, just when I was coming on in about 20 minutes, I knew I had to try and make an impact. Nerves, to be fair, like all over the place because of the crowd. It was such a big game, round one of the FA Cup, and then just out of nowhere just got the ball and just went for it, and it happened.
Peter Taylor's alongside us, and Peter, that's what you want from your subs and from your manager, to make those big decisions in a game like this, and they pay off.
Well, you have to make the big decisions, and I think Jay will be delighted with the response of his team, because to me, Stevenage started the second half a little bit better. They could have got on top, but then Maidstone got stronger and stronger, and they deserve to go through.
And I think we should introduce you to, I don't know whether you've already met, this is Kev Wilkin. He's the manager of Wrexham. You'll be playing him in the next round of the FA Cup, so you better take him in there. Give him a nice glass of wine and find out about his team. But on a serious note, what did you make of this Maidstone side this evening?
They're a very strong outfit, and you know, one I respect very much. Terrific performance tonight, deserved the result. And we won't be taking anything lightly, that is for sure. They're, as I say, a strong outfit, and we're going to have our work cut out to beat them.
It's not going to be easy back in Wales, is it?
No. At this stage of the competition, you expect a tough game, and certainly, Maidstone will provide that for us. But we'll make them welcome at the racecourse, and hopefully we'll have enough to come through. Hopefully.
All right. Well, let's have a look at the winning goal with a cracking ball put in by this guy. Ben was playing professional football only a few months ago, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's a great guy to have on your books here.
He is. Yeah, he was with us before, and he went off to Scotland and had a good time out there, and then he got in touch over the summer and come back, and that's the sort of thing he does offer you, to be honest. If I'm honest, I didn't even know it was Franny that scored. I thought it was Jay, mate, until
now
we're
clutching at straws when we discuss the fact that I think he's offside.
Yeah. Sometimes I go, sometimes I don't, do they? So,
I thought that might be your answer.
Yeah. But no, it's a great ball in, and as I say, on another day it's given offside. But there was some decisions we didn't get tonight, and that one we've got away with. So you need a bit of luck in football sometimes, and we've had it there.
And we felt that the referee had a good game, but I think if you're in that Stevenage dressing room and you see that, you're going to be pretty angry.
Well, you'll be a little bit disappointed, but honestly, over the 90 minutes, Maidstone deserves to go through 100%. That was a fantastic winning goal, lovely cross. We do lots of crossing and finishing in training, and they don't normally end up as well as that. Good finish as well, so deserved.
And for people at home who don't know the history of this club, the position this club was in only 10 or 15 years ago, give us some kind of an idea of what a special and important night this is for Maidstone.
I think, to be honest, for the owners, this was the dream when they rebuilt this ground. Peter T, who was here many years ago, and the club it went pretty much, other than a small support base, if you like. And the owners built the ground for nights like this, and I think this was the dream. And it's been fantastic. You can see the support we get here. You can see the support we get here.
This is your dad?
It's my dad, yeah.
How proud are you tonight, man?
I really am. We're all proud of him. I love him. It's lovely.
Give him a cuddle, go on. We don't mind here on BT Sport. Look at that. That's what the FA Cup does, bringing families together. Thanks for that. Well done. Congratulations. Before we let you go, here's the rest of the squad. This shows you the kind of passionate team spirit that they've got here, and that's what's important tonight. That's what saw you through against the side 3 divisions above, 60 places above you. It was that kind of team spirit that got you through.
Yeah, we've got an incredible dressing room, and they've stuck to it. I say the response we got after getting that goal, sort of conceding that goal. They had a 5 minutes, 10 minute spell where they sort of got on top, and you're thinking, right, what are we going to do here? Do we shut up shop? And we thought we'd go for it. Me and Nicky on the side, we thought we'd go for it, bring Ben on, and it's worked. On another day it doesn't, but it's worked, and no, this will live long in a memory.
I'm getting more and more nervous about a bucket of ice emerging from somewhere at any given moment. Interestingly, when you joined us straight after the final whistle, you looked frustrated. I said, what's wrong? And you said, I just hate the way we conceded that goal.
Yeah,
a perfectionist to the end.
That's just disappointing. I think we worked so hard first half, and we worked so hard in the first tie. So you kind of, when you concede a goal like that, we said it was important to stay in the game first 15 minutes, and sort of, we had 2 out there against 1, and I felt the cross coming a little bit easy, and he shouldn't be getting that much room in our box. And when you've worked as hard as we did, to concede like that was disappointing. But as I say, the character we've shown after that is different class.
And give us an idea now how you approach this Wrexham game, because you've knocked out a side here who are in League 2. Now you're going to take on Wrexham, who are in the conference. I mean, you will go into that game brimming.
Yeah, we are a confident side at the moment. We're having a good season, but football changes quickly, so we just got to keep our heads down. We've got a massive game now Saturday against Met Police. The league is, at the start of the season, that's our priority, and nothing changes there, so that's what we've got to look forward to now. We've got to get the lads right for Saturday, and then when the FA Cup comes around, we'll start to prepare and look forward to that. So we'll have a nice weekend and hopefully give them a decent game.
Sure, and I think the final word, we've spoken about the goal scorer, we've spoken about the man who teed up the winner. the man who kept you in it at the back, Lee Morgan, had a brilliant game for you, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't think you'll see many better goalkeepers than at this sort of level. He's first class, and since he's been here, I think he cleaned up with the awards last year at the club, and week in, week out, he does it for us, and he's a great lad to have in there as well.
And he's a coach at Gillingham, so despite saves like this evening, you're going to have him at work at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Peter.
Well, at least there's somebody at our club that's still in the FA Cup anyway.
Here he is.
And Lee Morgan's actually popped out to join us now. Lee, as you join us, we're taking a look at one of a number of saves from you this evening. What was it like out there for you tonight?
Yeah, no, it was brilliant. All the boys were fantastic. We needed everyone to perform, and everyone did. We battled on like we do. And we're fortunate to score last minute or whatever it was, and it takes us through to the next round. Brilliant, love it, absolutely love it.
Well, look, keeping it as clean as possible, tell us what was said in the dressing room as soon as you got back in there.
It was everyone dancing, we had the music on, nice and loud, chairman's come in, poured champagne everywhere, but it was just brilliant. They're why you want to be a football player. That atmosphere in there is unbelievable, it's brilliant. Honestly, I can't even put it into words, I can't.
Yeah. We're not too sure about your dancing though. A bit of ballroom, was that?
Oh, I tried, yeah. The chief executive dragged me into it. He seems to think he can dance, but yeah, I tried. You've got to roll with it, haven't you?
Absolutely, you have, and you only have to look behind you to realise what it means to these fans. It was an incredible atmosphere, and they helped you through there tonight.
They did, yeah, because we didn't really start the first half very well. Second half, sorry, we didn't start well, and they got an early goal, and that's the main thing we didn't want them to do. But the fans were brilliant. They carried us through, and and that's what you need. That's what you need when you're at home playing against the league side. You need your fans, and like I said, they were superb. They were absolutely superb.
All right, you were fantastic tonight, Lee. We'll go and let you celebrate. Congratulations. And Jay, before we let you go and join in the celebrations, we'll go back to that first goal. Must feel like a lifetime ago for you now. 1 minute and 8 seconds into the first half.
Yes, yeah, it does seem a long time ago, but you can't ask for a more perfect start, to be honest. We're sort of in there saying, let's keep it tight first 15, 20 and make sure we're in the game at half-time. And to get that start, yeah, I mean, Jay's made a bit of a mess of it there, to be honest, but Franny's done what all good forwards do, and what he does week in, week out, he's followed in and tucked it away.
You were very impressed tonight by Maidstone.
Yeah, I was. I just think they had right people in the right areas. They're big centre forward, won every header. You've got a fantastic number 2 striker plays alongside him. You've got wingers or wide players that play well, and I think they're a very, very good side. And so Kevin's got a lot of work to do.
Indeed he has. Well, with Jay Saunders, Black and Newell Army ringing out, we'll let you go to the dressing room. We'll let you go and enjoy it. Congratulations. Well done. And he deserves all those celebrations.
Absolutely.
Right, well, let's look ahead then to what will happen in the second round. You're in the dressing room with your Wrexham players, having seen what's here tonight. What will you be telling them? What are the dangers? What are the risks for your side?
Well, I think their all-round game is what impressed me tonight. When they get the chance, an opportunity to pass it, they can pass it. When they have to go long, they can go long. They're a strong, powerful outfit. Competitive all over the field, pace in wide areas, quality in wide areas. So, under no illusion, we've got a tough game, but we're at home, and like I say, on our day, we prove we can be more than a match for anyone at conference level. Hopefully we'll have enough on our day at home.
Yeah. And it was just a cracking story tonight. Last night we had an upset with Aldershot knocking Portsmouth out, and another one tonight. This is what the Cup's about, this is what football's about, and we loved every minute, didn't we?
Well, I think that's why it's the best Cup competition in the world. It's talked about absolutely everywhere, and for nights like this, and I've got no doubt the kick-off time, Maidstone were confident they could cause an upset, and they did.
All right, well listen, good luck in the second round. We'll be watching with interest, and good luck for the rest of the season. Enjoying life at Gillingham. All going okay?
Yeah, we're getting there. We're slowly getting there.
Yeah, good. Big rebuild job. Well, congratulations to both of you. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for joining us as well. So how about that? 2 nights under the lights, 2 upsets in the FA Cup, and it's only the first round. Lovely. We'll see you very soon as the dancing continues here in Maidstone. Good night.
The FA Cup on BT Sport, brought to you by William Hill.
Harlequins v Sale Sharks kicks off the weekend's rugby action on BT Sport 2 at 7 tomorrow. Mets take on PSG in the League R, live on BT Sport 1 at 7:30. And on ESPN, it's Kaiserslautern v Darmstadt.